You can replace Wickramaratne with a Premaratne or somebody else. That's personalities. But really the protest is about we need a systems change. This is unacceptable. Personalities we can change. Because when we have an election, the public has an opportunity to form new political parties, join existing political parties. Existing parties can bring in new people, and the public can be given options when they are voting to replace the people that they have and they are unsatisfied with. But the systems change is, I think, the real thing that people were looking forward. So what are they looking for in the systems change? One thing they were saying and debate came up was, we vote somebody and we send in that person, he or she is not satisfactory. Then we have 5 more years to wait till we can change that person. So some said, can't we have a recall system? That within the 5 years, if we are not satisfied, can we have a way of recalling that person? Some countries have a recall system. So that's something that needs to be looked at. It's not present in our present constitution. And if people think it should be there, then that's something that needs to be put in. Then the systems changed, and people said, oh, it's very corrupt. It's very corrupt. Ministers are known to take money, commissions, for basically doing their expected responsible job. And that the system is very corrupt. These people must be punished, but nobody gets punished. They have to be punished. Politicians have sometimes come with no wealth into the country and they are continuing. So systems change means, so on corruption, assets and liabilities need to be declared. Okay, if you're in public office like me, you're running for an office, you should declare. Officials should declare. Then you know what my assets are. How many cars has he got? How many houses has he got? Okay? And then after 3-4 years you find that I have houses overseas also. Then you can question and say, how did you actually acquire? We want to know. That's how we minimize. So asset declarations must be made public. We don't have a law for that in this country. Then we have an anti-bribery commission. That commission is under the government. It's not independent. You see, so it needs to be independent. 2. 3. Officials and politicians have stolen assets and parked it all over the place in Sri Lanka and overseas. You hear from time to time, you hear this kind of thing over and over again. We don't have stolen asset recovery law. And fourthly, I would say that we need to be prosecuted. I am a minister. The Attorney General advises me because he is my attorney. Then the next day, I rob and steal. Then the Attorney General is expected to prosecute me. The same party who is my advisor now has to prosecute me. In a few cases, they put cases, and then the governments changed and withdrew the cases. I don't have to tell you more than that. So they have a conflict of interest. Therefore, we need, the fourth point is, an independent public prosecutor. So this is also part of systems change. Right? There are a whole lot of things. You take the cases, you take the judiciary, you hear of cases that go on for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. Justice delayed, justice denied. Systems change. So I can go on and on and on and stop there. Right? What the protesters are asking for is really they want a systems change.
So again, the question: how do you believe the protests contributed to the humanitarian crisis?
I think the protests did not contribute to the humanitarian crisis. That is the narrative that they want to bear. The humanitarian crisis didn't come out of the protests. It came out of economic mismanagement. And the economic mismanagement is, as I said, all governments are responsible for the balance of payments and the budget. But we were correcting it. This government came in, Mr. Rajapaksa, without any economic, finance or scientific basis. He basically, win an election, went around saying, I will abolish this tax, the other tax. The income of the country collapsed, right? And immediately we ran into a huge problem and into a huge illiquid situation. And when we ran into that, the government has no way of servicing. So the only option was, then at that point, or the option they pursued was, they said we solve the problem by printing money. They came up with a new theory. We can print ourselves out of this. We can grow ourselves out of this. We kept shouting and screaming in Parliament for quite some time, but it fell on deaf ears. And they accelerated the printing of money, and when you print money, what happens is inflation begins to rise. And when inflation rises, you can't believe what happens. People can't afford to do anything. I mean, I have to always look at the sheet of paper when I say this, because things change so fast and sometimes it's difficult to keep yourself updated. A loaf of bread in 2019, when I left office, was 50 rupees. Today a loaf of bread is how much? 100 and? Almost 200, yeah, 170 rupees they told me. Then flour was 90 rupees when I left office in 2019. It is 300 now. It used to be 450, it's come down to 300. Then lentils, haricot. It was 140 rupees when we left office. Today it's 360 rupees. Milk food, 400 grams. If anyone has children here, they know the story very well. Right, 400 grams. It was 380 rupees in 2019. Today it's between 950 and 1,100. It varies. I can go on and on. The salmon bean was 140. It's now 700 or 800 rupees a tin of salmon. 140 just in 2019. So if you look at these didn't increase by 10% or 15%. They increased 100%, 200%, 300% in a short period of time. Right? You use a three-wheeler. I don't need to tell you about the prices of that. What it used to be and what it is now, twice and 3 times more than it used to be. 40 rupees a kilometer, and now I don't need to tell you how much is it. So I just don't need to tell you about it. Petrol was 137 when we left office. That is 92 octane, is 370 today. Kerosene, literal gas, today there's some announcement. Right? It was 1,375 rupees. Right? The gasoline, 1,375. It is, how much is it today?
4,360.
4,300 plus literal gas. 1,370. So if you look at what has happened, printed money went through the thing. So what you have created a vulnerable group of people, because even if they had incomes, right, and when your expenses go up by 100, 200, 300%, right, you just become very, very vulnerable, right, and you have created a huge problem for yourself. So the humanitarian crisis is not a result of the protest, it's a result of the mismanagement of the president, the cabinet, of the country. We have coming out of a situation which we never must see again. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, no finance or economic background. He appoints a prime minister, no finance or economic presidents and prime ministers don't have to have finance and economic backgrounds. Then they go and appoint a finance minister who also has no finance or economics background. That is unacceptable. And it's even more unacceptable that all three are from the same family. We are a democracy. We are a republic. And we have to wake up. So the humanitarian crisis is not a creation of the protesters. Again, I say.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Eran. So I first have a follow-up question. You haven't mentioned that all politicians need to declare their assets. And also recently you presented a private member's bill to amend the Declaration of Assets and Liabilities in 1975. So why could this not be done earlier? We had ages to do this, but what happened? Why now? We could have done this much earlier.
It's very clear. Because we don't want you to know. There's no other reason. We don't want you to know when we have come in and we have robbed and stolen and we have accumulated assets. We don't want you to know. This is the answer. So when the law was brought and said to declare assets and liabilities, which we do, and we give that declaration to the speaker in Parliament. Now see how we get over this. It's going to go like this. If you are a minister,